Hey Blender users, it's Mike. Tonight I'm going to be showing you guys how to make, or how to vertex paint on your object so that it textures it. I'm going to be using the model that we've been working on for a while, the little soldier guy here. And what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to show you guys how to vertex paint his chest plate here. So let's just start off by selecting it. Also, I'm using a pen mouse, so I'm still kind of getting used to it, so my clicks might not be as perfect. So, okay, so let's just select your object that we're going to use. And you usually don't have to do this, but since mine, I have a whole bunch of objects here, because none of them are joined yet, because it's still in editing. I'm just going to select this one, and I'm going to move it to a different layer. That way I can decide, or I can see it more clearly in that layer itself. Okay, so you select it and you hit M to bring up your layers, and then you just select whatever layer you want. Now to go to that layer and see your object, come down here to this your panel here and select whatever layer you chose to move it to. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to make two windows here, and the first one, or in the second one, I'm going to change to edit image, or the image editor over here, the UV image editor, okay? And I'm going to select a new image because we wanted just a blank sheet to work with, okay? So let's come back over here in our 3D view mode, and I'm going to hit tab for edit mode and Z for wireframe mode. I have it in face mode right now, but I want it in vertex mode. So I'm going to click the farthest left button over here to select vertex mode. Okay. So as you can see, we've got our chest armor here. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things that most users have a problem with is the UV mapping, and that's what we're doing at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to just select all and hit U, and we're going to wrap it just so you can see what it looks like. It's just all contorted and just not how we want it to. What we want it is to be flat, so that we're looking at the chest plate and the back plate just kind of as a flat image so we can draw on it however we want. And by doing that, we got to make some seams here. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to select, let's see, let's do these top ones here. So I'm going to hit Alt, and I'm going to right click. Oops, that's not the one I want. There we go. Okay, sorry again, I'm using this whole mouse, I'm still getting used to it. Now hold Alt and Shift and right click. Okay, so now we've got the two edges that we want. What we're going to do is we're going to hit Control E, and this is going to bring up our special edge menu here, and we're going to mark a seam. Now what this does is it's going to highlight it in orange so you can tell where you have a seam marked, but also when you render it or unwrap it for your UV mapping, it's going to show you where to cut it. Okay, so now we cut it right down the middle, so now you've got the different sides, but they're still kind of distorted here. So what we want to do is make another seam, and mine is kind of complex, so I'm going to Alt and click, and Alt Shift click, and Control E, mark seam. Okay, let's take a look here, unwrap, and there we go. Now you see we've got the reason it kind of shows up like that is because I've got an outside and an inside, a back outside and a back inside. Okay, so it's going to show up like that. You've got front outside, front inside, back outside, back inside, or vice versa. Okay, so I'm going to, now we're pretty much done with over here at the moment, so I'm going to make my UV window bigger just so we can see what's going on. Okay, we're going to hit N to bring up our panel here, and we are going to scroll over on this panel down here, or our toolbar over here, sorry. And we're going to click on the Enable Image Painting Mode button. What that does is it just enables us to be able to paint. And since you've got this toolbar open over here, it allows us to see all our coloring techniques, okay? So we don't want the curves or grease. Curves is just editing the colors more. You can add points here and there, and it just edits farther. We don't want that at the moment. We're not going to mess with that today, so we're just going to do the basic stuff. Image we don't need, display, don't need it. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to whatever color I want. I'm going to do like a kind of a darker blue, I guess, for now. And you can change the size, the strength, whatever else you want, okay? But for now, I'm just going to leave it the basic settings, okay? And basically all you do is you just click and you paint. I'm not going to do this very perfect because this is a tutorial, it's not the finished project for me. But if this was your finished project, you're going to want to make it as like smooth and just good looking as you can, okay? Okay, you just draw your little shape around the edges here. This is what I'm doing anyway. You can draw anything. You can draw a little smiley face guy here, whatever you want, okay? So yeah, you get the idea. And that's just the back here. And for this quick render I'm going to make, we don't see the back, so I don't really need that. Okay, let's just make a white color, I guess like that. And let me change the size down to about, I don't know, 9 I guess. And we're just going to drag around here, around the edge. Once again, this is really rough. Like, you're going to make yours look a lot better than this. So, you know. Okay, drag around the edge like this. Now let's just fill in our little smiley face guy here. Like that, okay. So that's that. Now, to make it on our image here, we're going to come over here and we have a texture already, but we don't want it to be applied to the my entire soldier. I don't want it applied to. So I'm going to hit the little button over here, and that's going to make it just unique to this one section, or this one object, okay? So I do that, and I'm going to come in here to texture mode. I'm going to enable this one and disable this one. And this one up here that I disabled is the, it's just the basic armor that we had earlier, and I don't want that right now. So I'm going to come down here, and it's selected an image already for me, but I don't want that. I want the one we just created. So Untitled is what we have it. You can name it whatever you want, but right now it's called Untitled. So select that image. Mapping, you're going to want to make sure it's UV mapping here. And I don't want it to really do anything else. I'm going to leave all this the same. I don't want it to do any cropping or anything really. I just want it all to be good like this. No repeating, no nothing. Okay? So now that we've got that, what we need to do is we need to select our object. Well, I need to select my object and move it back to the first layer. You might not have done that in the very beginning, but I did, so I had to bring it back to the first layer and go back to the first layer, because or else there won't be any light to reflect what's going on. So now I'm just going to render it and see what's happening, see what our new Vertex painted texture looks like. Oh, come on. My computer's being really slow tonight for some reason. Well, come on. There we go. Just had to think, I don't know why my computer's being so slow. Oh well. But yeah, that's how you do it. What we should get is the rendered image. We kind of colored around the edge here, and we should have a smiley face up here in the corner. Okay, see, we've got the outline going. this thing would hurry up and render. Come on. And there's our smiley face right here. Okay, so yeah, that's the basic idea. I hope you guys, I hope your Vertex painting turns out a lot better than mine did. But yeah, so happy blending.